Hi everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Great to be back for another Kanikapila live jam, and tonight we're going to do a couple of songs from John Lennon, one of my favourite artists of all time. Let us know how you're getting on, where you are. Come and say hello. I'll bring some of you on screen in just a second. Just a reminder, you can still get your free worksheets with colour charts and lyrics for every single song. They're available via the link in the description and in the comments and on the Facebook pages. You'll see them there as well. So do check that out if you haven't already. And just before I get into the main business, just a reminder that this Wednesday we've got our next live lesson where we're going to take a look at Country Roads, Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver. And I'm going to show you two very, very different versions. So one is kind of like using John Denver's country picking, and then the other one is Brother Iz's version, which is completely different. It's got chucking and a Hawaiian rhythm and all that sort of stuff. So check that out. That's going to be this Wednesday if you can join me. Hi Pam, rather wet Yorkshire. Oh my goodness, it's completely dry down here. We've got all the sunshine down here, so I'll try and waft it up in your direction, Pam. So you might get a bit of sunshine. Yeah, it feels almost like the summer here, which is lovely. So hi guys, hi Wayne, hi Barbara, hi Anna, hi Annie. Fantastic. Hi Janie, hope you're all doing well. Oh, I've got you all overlapping. Let's move some of you over. So yeah, as I say, we're going to go all kind of John Lennon-y tonight, so it should be lots of fun. We've got Jealous Guy, and we've also got Imagine, two absolute classics, which should be fun. Let me just move a couple of things round. There we go. John Lennon's, it's kind of interesting. I think I love all the Beatles solo output. You guys probably know I'm a massive Paul McCartney fan as well. I love a bit of Macca. But I do think just in terms of songwriting, I think John Lennon gets the edge as a solo career. These two songs are just absolutely amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Hi Rebecca. Hi Karen. Hi Laura. Hope you're all doing well. Fantastic. Okay, let's bring our first sheets. Oh no, one more thing just before we get going. I mentioned it in the break as well. I've mentioned the Spanish ukulele retreat a few times that's coming up, where you can come and join me and Matt in Spain. Just to let you know that Matt's doing some special offers. So he's got, I think, like 2 or 3 last minute places. And he's got kind of half price for friends and all sorts. So do check that out and give me a shout if you're interested. It's going to be a terrific long weekend. I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I'll talk about that a bit more in the break as well. But let's have a look at our first song then. So the front of your sheets, we've got a colour system. I won't go through this every time in a lot of detail because I know a lot of you have already seen it and you're starting to soak it all in anyway, which is terrific. So let's take a look at hi Elizabeth. Oh, I love your fox avatar. That's so cool. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on then. So basically, remember every single key. We've got 7 main chords for a composer to choose from. In this case, we've got John Lennon for both of them, and he's a kind of really interesting songwriter. He does lots of chords that you wouldn't imagine that would come up in a particular key, and you'll really see that in the second half here, which is really lovely. Hi Suzanne, hi Janie. Cool. That's brilliant. Nice to see so many of you tonight. That's brilliant. Fantastic. So we get chords that you wouldn't necessarily expect. So we're in the key of G, so let's number those chords through 1 to 7. We go G, A, B, C, D, E, and G has an F sharp at the end. You don't have to remember that. You can always look them up in a book or Google or work them out. It's not a problem. And the 2nd, 3rd and 6th chords in any key of minors, and the 1st, 4th and 5th chords in any major key or majors. So that gives us G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, and then our unusual F sharp diminished, which comes in at the end. And you can see lots of those chords fairly straightforward in this first section. And then it goes a little bit weird down here, which I'll talk about for sure. There we go. Oh, no worries, Susan. Really good to have you back. Really good to have you back. Oh, we've got Suzanne and Susan, both from the USA, New Hampshire and Florida. I love that. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay. All right. So what are these chords doing then? So in terms of the colours, try and think about how they kind of feel or how they work in terms of the song. So in this first section, the verses, notice that the one chord only happens once and it's right at the start of the song. So what does that tell us? It's kind of like the song's going to go on a journey, because you know that it's not constantly coming back to this one chord. So it's left home and it's going on a journey. So what's happening next is then we get the sixth chord, which is our green chord. Green because it's slightly melancholy, because it has that minor feel. But it's very similar, the use of this green chord, the E minor, is very similar to the orange 4 chord that we often get after the 1 chord. Remember, the most common chord progression in all of music is 1, 4, 5, because you leave home. 4 takes you on a journey. 5 is the tension that makes you want to go back to the start. Well, the 6th chord does a similar thing, but it just has a more melancholic feel. So imagine you're opening up. I kind of imagine it, we've kind of left home and we're walking through some kind of nice green forest going somewhere, wondering where we're going. Then we get the red, because red is all about drama and tension. It makes us want to go back to the start. So generally when you get the 5 chord, G, A, B, C, D, that's all the numbers mean, where the chords come. Generally when you get that 5 chord, it makes you want to go back to the start. But John Lennon doesn't do that. He keeps the journey going. We walk through some more forest with the 6th chord, that melancholy. We get more tension again. Is it going back to the yellow? No, we go through for some more forest, and then we get a change chord at the end. The 4 chord creates a sense of change, as we know, right? And that makes sense because we're changing to a new section. So let's show you the chords to that so you can get strumming and singing and enjoy it. And I'll show you how this all works. We'll go through the kind of the way it all fits together as well. Oh, that's fantastic. Thanks, Rebecca. Yeah, think about those chords as feelings. That's a really good way of doing it. Wayne's got some great ideas for memorising the flats as well, how many sharps and flats that the keys have. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. I love all these. You get all these kind of, are they mnemonics? I never know how to say them, but yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Let's have a look at this verse then, in terms of playing it. So we open up, we leave home, we've got a G chord to get us going. Then we get immediately that melancholy of the 6th chord. The 6th chord isn't the saddest sounding minor chord, but it does have that melancholy feel. Remember, I kind of think about it like a kind of a damp forest that you're going through. Remember my tips as well. When you go from G to E minor, you can reset all your fingers like this, 1, 2, 3. But because this note up here cancels out this note here, remember when you're going from G to E minor, if you can do it, you can just reach up with your little finger. And notice part of the reason that those 2 chords fit together so beautifully is that there's only 1 note difference between the 2. It's just that 1 note, that E coming in, which is really lovely, but it does make all the difference. So let's kind of see how that sounds. Let's just put that together. I was dreaming of the past. Now notice after this first D, we go to a D7. You can either lift this finger up, or you can play the kind of traditional D7 this way. They both provide the same function, creating a bit more tension, so either's absolutely fine. What it does is it kind of, that red 5 chord is all about tension. turning it into a dominant seventh, which just means a chord with the 7 after. It gives it even more tension. That's the idea, basically. Hi Anthony, good to have you along. I've got a couple of questions from Anthony later on for the end. Thanks Anthony. If anyone ever has any ukulele questions they want to send in, just look at the email address on the sheets and you can ping me your questions to answer at the end. So we've got a couple of really classic, really good ones from Anthony tonight. Okay, let me go into that again. Sorry, I'm gabbing on a bit. Okay, so we have G, Ho, straight away into the journey, 6 chord, and then the 5 chord D. Turn it into a D7. Then we're back to that melancholy E minor again. Stay on it. Tension of the 5 chord, but we still don't go home on our journey, and then we get our change chord. Let's look at how to strum this. Hi Jacinta. What we're going to do is we're just going to strum this really, really gently with a walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running. In terms of the mechanics, that's down, 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 up. Okay, just a little up at the end. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, walk, 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 running. You could do some really simple picking on this if you wanted to. Perhaps you're inside out slow. Okay. But I like to strum this one. It just has a really beautiful kind of feel when you strum this one. It's the same with the next song actually. It just sounds really nice and melancholic even though we're strumming them. And that down, 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 up, walk, walk, walk running, it's really great for emotional ballads and songs like this where you don't want everything too busy or too kind of swingy, so works perfectly. Let's try strumming through one of those verses then. Now I'll sing it with you so you can hear how it works with the words. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was dreaming of the past, and my heart was beating fast. Stay on E minor. I began to lose control. I began to lose control. Isn't that lovely? So really, really sweet verse there, and a lot of John Lennon stuff uses these minor chords, particularly the 6th chord, to create that sense of melancholy, particularly the songs on Imagine, where he's not going too heavy or rocky like some of the protest ones on there. But both of the songs from tonight are from Imagine, so such a great record. I really like the first record he did, Plastic Ono Band, but it drives Sharon a bit mad because it's got lots of screaming on it. It's got that primal scream, hasn't it? But it's got some brilliant other songs on as well. Thanks, Diane. Dan said, truly enjoying the feeling and sound whilst learning with colours. Yay! I love it. If anyone's interested in that, just to let you know that I've actually finished my book. It's taken a lot of work. But it's basically ready. So I've got one version at the printers at the moment. I'm just trying to decide whether to do it hardback or softback. This is the cover, so it's quite epic. I think it's 260 pages in total, which explains how the colour system works, and it also has lots of examples in it as well. So if you enjoy this colour system, check it out. I'll put some more information about that when it's available, and when it's actually ready at the publishers. I think I'm going to do a short run of 100, and then I'll put it on Amazon as well, so you can get it print on demand there as well. But I'll keep you all posted on that. But yeah, I'm loving this colour system. It just makes so much sense to me. Here we go. Okay. So one of the great things about this colour system is you can tell that just looking at this first section, you've got the darkness of those 6 chords, which means it's going to be a touch melancholy because the darker colours represent minor chords. You've got the tension of the red, you can see that straight away, and then we've got that change of orange going to a new section. And then notice in the chorus, I mean, just by glancing at it, can you tell how it's got lots of the one chord because it's got that bright yellow? And that's what I love about this. It's kind of the colour system. You can see straight away, rather than just seeing some G's and they might not stand out. I mean, you can see this only has one home chord, whereas this has lots of it, so it's going to feel brighter and lifted. So that's really handy. So let's thanks Susan, thank you. So let's have a look at that chorus then and see what's going on here. So this is something completely different. I'll explain about the little notes about the Dorian and the parallel in a minute. I won't bore you with too many details, but I'll just show you what they are. But let's just have a look at how to play this first. So we've got G chord to set us off from home. Then we go straight to a D minor chord, which is like our 5 chord, but it does have that minor quality for this F note here. Feels really unusual when you first hear that, doesn't it? And then we go back to D. It'll sound like this. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I love those chords. I find them so glorious, so really beautiful. So as I say, the first thing you can tell that there's lots of major, bright, happy, one-sounding chords. But John Lennon tempers that with these unusual chords that he brings in, chords that don't belong in a key. What do I mean by chords that don't belong in a key? Well, remember, every major key will have 7 chords that composers choose from, just like any key. And I've written them at the top as well to help with kind of remembering them as you go. So you can see the key of G major, G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, and F sharp diminished. The reason that purple chord doesn't belong in the key is that the D chord, if you look up there, should be a D major, right? It's just written as a D. And that makes sense because there's no F note in the key of G. There's only an F sharp, which you can see at the end. So this is a borrowed chord from another key. Now, again, you don't have to sweat the theory about this. It can be a bit kind of mind-bending. And to be honest, John Lennon didn't really get the theory. He just knew how things sounded and felt to him. But basically, that D minor chord, we call it belongs in the, we call it a D Dorian. It comes from the key of C. So it's a borrowed chord from the key of C. What's the D Dorian mode? I'm not going to go into a massive explanation because it will drive those that aren't into the theory a little bit mad, and that's fine. But there's more information on this on my website and on my uke theory course if you're interested. But the D Dorian is just all of the same chords as the key of C. It's just they start on D. That's all it is. So every mode is a major key just starting in a different place. So D Dorian has that D minor. So we call it a borrowed chord from C major or D Dorian. But again, don't sweat the theory about that. So it doesn't matter. What does matter is how it feels. And this chord, this D chord, it sets up the next chord. Because if you think about it just in the alphabet, D is next to C, right? So a D minor leads beautifully into a C chord. Again, if you're interested, this is only if you're interested. Why is that happening? Well, in a normal D chord, which looks like this, doesn't it? By the way, whenever I come in on this close-up, I realise how badly this ukulele fretboard needs cleaning. I'm so sorry, that's really disgusting. I need to get some wire wool on this. Anyway, D major chord, like so. Now that has a D note, an A note and an F sharp note in here. Whereas the D minor, it has this F note in it. And the reason it goes so beautifully into the C chord is that the C chord has an E note in it. This one here. And our ears love the sound of one note going to the next one that's half a step away. So that F note there leads beautifully into that C. Can you hear it? You can even try doing this. If you just play a D minor, but just strum down the top 3 strings, and then just strum a C chord top 3 strings, and you'll hear that change. It's really, really lovely. It feels like the chord's going somewhere. So that's probably what John Lennon's done. He probably, because this was written on a piano, he would have actually just seen that those notes are next to each other and he would have played it. He was once asked about Norwegian Wood, whether he knew it was in the Phrygian mode, and John Lennon said, or was it might have been a Mixolydian mode, and John Lennon said, what's Mixolydian mode? It sounds like some kind of exotic bird. Which I think's good. So he didn't, know that he's used that Dorian, but that's why. Anyway, that's what's happening in the music. So it sets up the C chord, which follows next, which is bog standard, isn't it, for a lot of music. Then it goes to the 5 chord at the end, which makes you want to go back to the start. So in effect, if you look at it, it's our most common chord combination, yellow, orange, red, 1, 4, 5. It just so happens we have that D minor in, just creating a bit more of a transition. Let's play it. So they're quite quick changes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. Lovely, right? I realised that on the sheet, I'll get this fixed, guys, but I realised on the sheet in the chorus, I missed out the D chord at the end. So there should be a D chord after hurt you. You'll soon pick it up, don't worry. And it kind of sounds all right without it anyway, but it should be there. All right. So in this next line, we've got the same thing happening at the start, G to D minor. And then you're expecting the C chord, but it goes the other way. It goes further. We get a B flat. And that creates a sense of lift. And why does that create a sense of lift? Again, if you're not interested in this, it's fine. I'll just say it quickly. But if you are, it's kind of fascinating, right? Why it kind of feels that lift. I didn't made you cry. That bit there, it kind of lifts the mood, even though he's singing about making someone cry, right? And the reason is the B flat chord that you expect, or the B chord that you expect in the key of G, is a B minor. Can you see it up there? Which is a minor sad sounding chord. So by replacing that with a major, just a B flat major, it has an uplift, and you can see it. It's yellow in colour. It's a major chord. It's a happy colour, right? Which is really cool. So that gives it an element of lift, which is really good because it's felt quite dark up to that point, and then it brightens it, which is really lovely. Again, don't worry about the theory, but if you are interested, that B flat chord comes from what we call the parallel minor in the key of G. So we talk a lot about relative minors, don't we, at Kanikapila, because every major key has a relative minor with all the same notes in it as well. But actually, if you have a look, this is the major and the G major and its relative minor E minor. But if you have a look here, we've got the key of G minor, and that has a B flat in it. Okay, so we call it borrowing from the parallel minor. The easiest way to think about it is the relative minor is that key that's based on the 6th chord, G, A, B, C, D, E. So the relative minor of G is E minor. The parallel minor means the minor version of exactly the same scale. So the parallel minor of G major is G minor. And again, John Lennon didn't know that. I don't think. I mean, even towards the end of the Beatles' career, he was still kind of just going by what music felt like rather than going into the detailed theory. but just appreciate how lovely it is, that B flat, how it lifts it. Okay, so let's have a look at that second part. Da, 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 da. Really lovely, isn't it? So remember, B flat's an awkward chord. If you struggle with the bar, or a lot of us like to do it this way anyway, you can do the 3-finger version like this, where the first finger covers the bottom 2 strings physically nearest the floor. Notice that it's at an angle. It's not like this, it's at an angle. And notice, if you watch my arm there, if I do this, it's kind of uncomfortably in at the side of my body. But here, it just allows it to breathe out, which is really nice. That allows us to reach up and over with this one to the D note up here. And again, that allows us to reach up here. So if you have trouble with this B flat, most often it's because people are doing this, which also forces your wrist into a really uncomfortable position, as you can see. Whereas if you think kind of nice diagonal fingers, you can reach up and over a little bit easier. You can also do the barred version if you want. Just try and get that bar as close to the metal fret as possible. And also try and put as much pressure on these 2 strings, because these top 2 are already covered, right? You don't need to put a lot of pressure on those. Okay. And if you super struggle with that, you could just play a B flat major 7. Just try not to hit this A string, just 3, 2, 1 like that. Rebecca's got a great question. Rebecca's just saying, any tips for moving more easily from D minor to B flat? Let's have a look at that. Let's just play it first. So we've got D minor like this. And then we've got B flat. Now, instantly, for me, Rebecca, that's a great question, by the way. For me, the cool thing to think about is the fact that there's one of these B flats that's much easier. If I do this, and I go like this, there's a big change there. Whereas if I go to this version of the D minor, it's very little movement. So this is the one that I would use when I'm changing from D minor to B flat. So you can see here what's happening in effect is I'm keeping this first finger where it is, flattening it down, and then I've just got to add these 2 like this. And that's one of those ones you could practice in front of the telly, even without playing, just building up that muscle memory as you go. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll become. Lots of by the way, there's lots of talk about the book in the comments, which I really love that. I really appreciate that. This one is not going to be spiral bound. This one, it is going to be a traditional book, either hardcover or soft cover, but don't panic. The reason being, it's not really a repertoire book, so you're not going to put it on a music stand. It's the sort of book you're going to lie in bed or kick back on a sofa and just read through. You can play the pieces from it, and it's a lovely thing to do, but it's more about understanding how it all works as it goes, so don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, we're basically there. Let's have a look at this last bit then. It's fairly straightforward from here on out, because we've got the 1 chord again. Go into the melancholy of that 6th chord and back. And then a little bit of change at the end. We don't have the 5 chord, but we have the 4 chord, a little bit lighter. And back to the 1. So you get that relief basically of the 1 chord, which is really nice. Let's try that really slowly. I'll come in on close cam so you can see my chords, and you can follow it along as we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. D minor, C, D, G, D minor. Here's our B flat. Stay on it. G, E minor, C, and back to G. Lovely. Let's do it one more time with some words. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. Okay, really nice, right? Really, really beautiful chords. But like I say, quite unusual, those chords going out the key, which is lovely. As I say, for this one, I think just keep it really simple with a down strum. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. But what I did want to mention is when I get to things where I feel it kind of feels like it has a bit of emotion or it wants a little bit more power, all I'll do to thicken up the strum is just add some more ups. So you don't have to be really specific about this or mathematical, but just know at the moment we're going walk, 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 running. Okay, so the down strums are our walks, walk, 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 down, 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 and a down up is our running, 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 down, up. Well, what you can do is at any point put more runnings in, and it's easier than you think. Have a listen. Walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, walk, running, 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 walk, running, 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 walk, 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 running. And you can put them in at any point in a song. It just gives it a little bit more emotional drama. So I might start straightforward. And then here. See how I did all running then? Walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, walk, 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 running, 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 running. And it just thickens it up and makes it really, really beautiful to play. Okay, I think we're ready to play now. I have put the G major pentatonic in the back here if anyone wants to have a go at soloing along to this one. Oh, I haven't actually for this one. I think I've just done key of C for Imagine. But this one, there's no, in the original, there's no real solo. It's just John Lennon whistling. So just to make things nice and simple tonight, when you get to this instrumental verse up here, it's exactly the same chords that we use for all the other verses. Only you've got a good chance. Lick those lips, wet your whistle. We're going to do a bit of whistle. Quite hard to do that low. I might even have to go an octave higher, but get your whistling lips ready and we'll do a little bit of a whistle on that. And for the intro, I'm just going to really enjoy the sound of those beautiful chords. They're just so gorgeous. Hi, Robin. Oh, don't worry. That's absolutely fine. It's all good. All good. You can always catch up anytime, can't you? Notice the final chorus, we're going to repeat the last line 3 times. It's just down here. So that basically just means C to G 3 times. I'm just a jealous guy, watch out. I'm just a jealous guy, look out babe. I'm just a jealous guy. like so. Oh, Susan, I'm not very good at whistling. I'm not very good. I know some people are brilliant at it, aren't they? I could do the high whistle, like, but when I go low, it seems to disappear. So who knows? You could always hum or sing it. But yeah. You should have seen it when Victoria Vox tried to teach me how to do mouth trumpet. I thought whistling was hard. Wow, that's even harder, but good fun. Okay, let's put it together then, folks. Let's try it. So I'll bring this sheet up so you can copy along and let's enjoy it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Of the past, and my heart was beating fast. I began to lose control. I began to lose control. I didn't mean to hurt you. Quick, I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was feeling insecure. You might not love me anymore. I was shivering inside. I was shivering inside. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was trying to catch your eye. Thought that you were trying to hide. I was swallowing my pain. I was swallowing my pain. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. Watch out, I'm just a jealous guy. Look out, babe, I'm just a jealous guy. Yeah, isn't that great? Absolutely fantastic song. It's wonderful. I think it's really interesting actually because I kind of feel at the end of that first verse, it kind of needs that, the first line of the chorus, sorry, it kind of needs that D. But I think in the original, I'm not sure it's there. I think it might be a C. I think that's why I didn't put it on the... I think it just stays on the C chord, so I might amend that. It always gets a little bit confused because you've got the obviously you've got the Roxy music version, one of Anthony's favourite bands, or Anthony's absolute favourite band, I know, right? Apparently even Brian Ferry couldn't whistle on this, says Anthony, which is really interesting. So let's go for that one more time because it's lovely to play together, isn't it? Let's try this all one more time, but let's leave out this D and see how it feels. Okay, so we'll keep it as is written on this second sheet, and we'll try it one more time. Okay, one more go then, folks. Here we go. Get your lips ready, your whistling lips. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I began to lose control. I began to lose control. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was feeling insecure. You might not love me anymore. I was shivering inside. I was shivering inside. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. Get your whistles ready. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. I was trying to catch your eye. Thought that you were trying to hide. I was swallowing my pain. I was swallowing my pain. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry that I made you cry. Oh, I didn't want to hurt you. I'm just a jealous guy. Watch out, I'm just a jealous guy. Look out, babe, I'm just a jealous guy. Fabulous, well done everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know, did you miss the D chord or did you think it worked without? I think I remember listening to the video and I think it might be suggested by the bass, but there's not actually a full D chord. But I think in a Roxy Music version, I think they do put that D in there. There's an extra chord as well in the Roxy Music video, in the Roxy Music version, sorry, between the G and the E minor in the third line of each chorus as well. And that's kind of interesting that I think these songs, they kind of change, don't they, over time, which is really interesting. And I think that's a cool thing. Some people get a bit funny about that, but I always think if you're going to do a cover version of someone's song, you've got to make it your own. You've got to change a few things around. And, you know, it's interesting. I just got back not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, as you guys know, I just got back from Sore Fingers Bluegrass Camp where I was teaching. And that was really fascinating because there's so many of these songs where there are different versions of the same song, where each time someone did a cover or taught it to their family or friends, it changed slightly. And I love that. It's like a long chain of change over time. And sometimes you end up with something really different to the original, which is kind of fascinating in itself. So yeah, great. Indrani thought it worked better without the D. That's interesting. Yeah, I think it sounds more relaxed, doesn't it? Because that D chord's about tension. I think not having it, it does definitely feel more relaxed without that extra chord in, which makes sense. So yeah. Anthony says his cover was great, but should have left out the whistling. Yeah, it's hard to do, especially in a song that low. It's quite tricky actually. But yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so just before we look at our second song, just a couple of things to remind you about. That we do have another live lesson coming this Wednesday, which I'm really looking forward to. 2 takes on country roads. So one of them I'm going to teach you this lovely picking pattern that John Denver does, or a similar thing to what John Denver does. Obviously, he's got a 6-string guitar, which works really, really beautifully throughout the song. And then we'll look at Brother Riz's version, where we'll add some chucks in and change the rhythm completely. So I didn't purposefully segue into that, but it's really interesting because what I was saying about songs changing over time with covers, this is a classic example. If you listen to Brother Riz's version of Country Roads, and I will show you this and we'll have the sheet music and everything on Wednesday, he actually uses different chords. So it's not just changing the lyrics and the feel of the song. Brother Riz, Israel Kamakaviva Ole, he's the guy that did Somewhere Over the Rainbow. He actually uses different chords from the original John Denver, which is really, really interesting, I think. What else did I have to tell you about? On the website, I realised I did a little video on Friday that we've got to a point where there are literally hundreds and hundreds of songs and arrangements on there now. So if you remember, there's a lot of people that are members but don't realise it's there. If you go to live on the website, click on that, and then a drop down menu will appear with all the courses. If you go right to the bottom and click tabs and resources, that's where you'll find all of the sheet music, and there's chord melody stuff, there's classical, jazz, all sorts, pop music, song arrangements, and just full songs as well. So do check that out. And as I was mentioning earlier, if anyone's interested, I've been doing a lot of work on this over the last couple of weeks. I've been driving myself mad with corrections and things like that. But the book is pretty much ready now. So I'll let you know when it's back from the publishers and ready for you all to enjoy. But do check it out. And if you've got any musician friends, I'd love you to recommend it to them. Read it first. You might think it's rubbish and then you don't recommend it. But if you enjoy it, please recommend it, because it helps you to play by ear with any instrument. So works on piano, guitar, whatever it is, as well as ukulele. Obviously, we like ukulele best, guys. But do check that out. I'll do an announcement with that when it's ready. And then just a reminder what I was saying at the start, if you can join us, in May, I'm going to be out teaching in Spain with Matt, and it was such an amazing time everyone had last year. Beautiful sunshine. I saw a heck of a lot of butterflies. I can take you somewhere where you'll see endless butterflies and beautiful swallowtails and all sorts of stuff, long-tailed blues and all sorts. So beautiful, beautiful place. And we'll teach you music, we'll teach you ukulele for several days. Really intensive learning, which is great. But plus lots of chilling, sitting around the dinner table, swapping musical stories with views of Africa and Gibraltar. Gorgeous place. So the reason I mention it is Matt wants to fill the last 3 places, so he's got some special half price offers and all sorts. So if you're thinking about coming, I think one of the offers is you get a single room rather than having to share for the same price, which is really cool. So do check that out. And the ebook is ready. The only reason I haven't launched the ebook yet, so I thought I'd do it all together because it's nice to do that, isn't it? But yeah, the ebook, there is an ebook PDF version that will be available, so you can grab that as well. So yeah. Oh, Karen's here. Hi, Karen. I hope you're feeling better. I know you've had a bit of a rubbish day of it, but sending my love across the ocean to Canada for you. Ah, thanks, Karen. Love it. Fantastic. There you go. Imagine that, Leslie. Here just in time for Imagine. Perfect. Well, there we go. Leslie's provided my segue. I seem to be doing loads of them tonight. Brilliant. Into the next song, which is perfect. So let's have a look at what's going on in this one. This one's in the People's key, the key of C. So different key to the last song. So that means C is going to be our one chord. Then we would have D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and then B diminished at the ends. Because this is kind of melancholic pop music, you know there's not going to be a diminished chord in this. Diminished, kind of those jazzy chords, like that one. So you know it's not going to come up in something like this, which is kind of an emotional song. Let's have a look at the charts here to see what's going on. So the intro and the verses, I mean, it couldn't be simpler. You can see that we're setting off from home. Remember, our home is yellow now. That's how I want you to think about it. The reason it's yellow is that yellow is a happy, straightforward colour. Imagine Mr. Happy sat in his home, right? Everything's chilled. That's where we're going from. Then we go to the 4 chords. Now, a load of folk music, lots of folk music. Is literally just the verses go between the 1 and the 4 chords. 1 setting you off on journey, F taking you somewhere. So that's like walking down the path, right? So you've got the 1 chord, and then the 4 chord just for a bit of change. Straightforward there in terms of the intro and the verses. What about that C major 7th chord? Well, that's just there to create a little bit of movement towards the F chord. I'll show you what I mean. I'll come in on super close. So our normal C chord looks like this, with this high C note here that I'm wobbling about so you can see it. A C major 7 is a C chord with the 7th note of C added. That's where it gets its name. And a 7th note of C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. It's B. And this is a B note here. So we've got a C chord with a B in it, C major 7. The reason that works beautifully is if you have a listen to the notes on the A string, we go C, B, and then the note on the A string in the F chord is A. That's coming backwards in a C major scale. If I kept going, notice it's just from the scale. So by highlighting those notes, we create almost like this mini moving melody, if you like, which sounds really, really beautiful. So that's why he's put that in there. Again, we're going to just do a really simple walk, walk, walk running pattern. That's not me just being lazy. It just fits both of these songs beautifully. So that will look and sound something like this. Notice we got 2 of these F chords. We do it again. Verses, which is a big part of the song, just those 2 chords, or 3 if you include the C major 7 again and again. Really sweet, right? Now, if you want to be fancy pants on this one, I know you guys like being fancy pants sometimes, it's all good, right? What you can do is add this little kind of, it's almost like, I think it comes from the bass line, or it might be on piano, that John Lennon does in the original. It's quite tricky, so don't feel you have to put this in. I'm not sure whether I will or I won't. But when you get to this F chord, you know it kind of does that da 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 before it goes back to the C. You get that. Where's the next note? Sorry. Da, da. Oh, it's in this. It's the G in the C. there it is. It's that B flat note there. So what you can do is you can actually replicate that as you come out of the F chord. In effect, what you're playing is an A note, followed by a B flat note, followed by a C note. A B note, sorry. I'm going to put my brain back in. A note, followed by B flat, followed by B, like that. Okay. So you get this. Okay. Now, that's quite tricky to do as you're strumming. So what I tend to do is I keep strumming. And I just put my fingers there. Now, if you want the timing, let me give it to you. Rebecca, absolutely, I'll show you in a second. The timing of this one's a little bit awkward, but once you get it, you'll have it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's like the last bit of the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're back straight to that C chord. So you can pop that in. Rebecca had a really good question, which is fantastic because it's good thinking. Can you do it on the A string? Absolutely. Yeah, you can do that on the A string. It's not a problem at all. Laura's saying fancy pants here tonight. No fancy pants here tonight. That's fine. Not a problem. So yeah, on the A string, you can do the same notes. And it would be A, B flat, and B here. As opposed to, okay, so that would look like this. If you've got your F chord down, you'd flatten like this, and then you put that finger down. Okay, so it's kind of, I don't know actually, I think it might be easier on the A string. I kind of felt like it might have been easier on the G string, but I'm not so sure now. So have a go at both of those and see if you can do it. But of course, if you're just strumming and singing the song, you don't need to put that part in if you don't want to. It's just, as I say, it's me being fancy pants. It doesn't have to be there, but it's really sweet. Let's have a look at what's happening in the bridge then. So the bridge is a new section, new part of the song. What chord do we have generally at the start of a new section? It tends to be either the relative minor or it's the 4 chord. Why? Because remember that 4 chord is a sense of change. We're starting a new section. It makes sense to have that change chord. So that's what we've got going on here. So we've got an F chord at the start of the bridge. Imagine. And then we go to A minor. Only 1 note difference. And notice this isn't coincidence. John Lennon did a lot of these things. You'll see it in, if I go back to our first song, back here. Notice we had that 1/6 up here at the start of the song, a 1/6. Well, if we go back to Imagine, different key, but same thing. The bridge is starting, instead of a 1/6, sorry, it's a 4/6. But he's using it in a similar way. We go into that 6 chord. And it goes beautifully from F because it's only 1 note different. Then we get the 2 chord. That's a really common thing to get after the 6 chord. Another minor chord, so it's creating a sense of melancholy. Here's how to play it. You take this D minor shape, like an F with this one added, and you also add this little finger in down here, okay, like this, okay, so isn't that lovely? And what that does is it means we've got more movement, but it's melancholy movement. That 2 chord is a transition chord. It's really nice for filling in space and keeping things nice and melancholic. So we haven't got the saddest minor chord of all, which is the 3 chord, although it does come up in a weird way up here, which you'll see in a minute. But we've got the melancholy of both the 6 and the 2 chord. Really common thing to get in music. Now, there's a trick at the end, because we've played this D minor 7, to make the next chord smoother and avoid too harsh a sound. What I do is I play an F chord, but I keep my little finger here. Okay, that's why it's got little asterisks next to it. Okay, that's still an F chord, because the notes that make an F chord are F, A, and C. And I've still got all of those 3 notes. Just happens I've got another A. Sorry, another C, I'm being daft. Another C down the bottom. Okay, so still an F chord. So what I do for this bridge is start with normal F, normal A minor, D minor 7, and then just take away your ring finger for the F that follows. Then we've got tension of 5. Resolution to 1, and then tension of 5, but it's like not only are we on a cliff edge, it's a really steep cliff because we've turned it into a G7. Remember, turning any chord into a 7th chord adds even more tension, which is really lovely. Let's try a verse and a bridge so we can give it a go. I'll come in on close cam. Again, don't feel you have to add those little extra special runs in. Wayne, you're dead right. Playing on the A string does set up a smooth transition to the C, and because all the notes are on the same string, it creates a nice timbre as well. So yeah, absolutely, you've got that option as well. Yeah. Okay, all right. Let's try it as an intro as well. We'll do a couple of intros just so you can have a go at that and hear how it sounds. 2, 3, 4. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Is our bridge? Imagine all the people living for today. Again, I think I've done something strange there. I think I might, let me see, I think that C chord might be erroneous. Let me just, living for today. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I think just lose that C chord in the bridge. I think I've done it right on the next page. I'll get these corrected, folks, and stick them up back up on the Facebook group so you can see them. But yeah, ignore that C. I realised when we got to the bridge here, it just goes G, G7. I think it does work in there, but let's just ignore it, which means that then this line is all tension, which makes sense as well because it's building the tension going to the chorus. All right, so the chorus, let's have a look at that. Really, really straightforward in terms of the colours. You've got orange leading to red, which makes complete sense, and then the resolution to yellow home. So we've got that movement into the 5 chord, which creates tension, and then resolution to the 1 chord. And that C major 7 in the middle of the Cs, that's just to create a bit of movement. I'll show you what that is in a minute. There's another cool little riff thing that we can do. But basically the main kind of thrust of the movement, if you like, is just 4, 5, 1. That just movement, tension, resolution. And you can really clearly see that across there. We have this E chord, which is really, really unusual. It's a secondary dominant chord. It just means we've stolen the 5 chord from the key of A. And that's kind of again, it's another common thing that John Lennon does in a lot of his songwriting, just to borrow those chords from another key. They sound really sweet. And it's just set up this kind of sense, this sense of movement. Let me just put it all together. Isn't that lovely? I love that E to E7. It creates like more drama, which is really nice, and it adds like another element of tension, which is really, really lovely. So there would be an E chord in the key of C, but it would normally be an E minor, C, D, E minor, but playing it as a dominant 7th creates a different feel altogether, which is really, really nice. Tim says his hands have been full, but definitely here with his fancy pants on. Bring on the riff. Thanks, Tim. Okay, another riff on the way then. So let's take a look at what's happening here. Now, first off, if you don't want to be fancy pants, and that is absolutely fine, there's no what do you call it? There's no dress code here. You can wear boring pants. That's absolutely fine, okay? Now, what we've got going on here, if you just want to play the standard chords, and that's absolutely fine, where it says E, E7 at the end, just play an E7, okay? I'll show you the fancy pants way in a minute. And where it says C, C major 7th, C, just play C7. Now, the bedrock harmony, the basic harmony below is just that. It will sound like this. F, G, C, E7. F, G, C, E7. And that works. I'll show you if I put the words in. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Okay, really, really sweet. Let me show you with this lovely movement in. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. So it has like that element of extra movement in, which is really, really lovely. Bear in mind, John Lennon would have done this on piano, so in some ways it's easier moving fingers on the piano than it is changing whole chords like we do on ukulele. But let me show it to you. Now, this is in your focus on technique section. Can you see here we've got, in the bottom left corner, we've got that E to E7 bar. That's what we've got going on here, basically. There's a couple of ways you could do it. The traditional way would be to use the E that's written here. Now, a lot of people hate this E. It can work and it can be lovely. The original E major, you just put one finger here, and then you can either put this one, and you kind of have to bend it back on itself. That's why it's awkward. Or you can even put 3 fingers in up here. But it's quite awkward to do, a little bit difficult at times. But if you wanted to, you could do that. And then E7 there. Like that. But what I like to do is I like to play the E chord. Up here, 4th fret is barred, and then the little finger is on 7. The reason I like this is that when I do this movement, because these melody notes, whoops, wrong one, those two there, they're on the A string, they really sound clear. So you get this kind of, again, a mini moving melody. Which sounds really effective. Plus, I actually think it's easier to do than doing the kind of bog standard E chord, if you like. So let me show you physically how to do that. That again, these are your two chords here down in the bottom left. So first up, for the C major 7 bit, you're going to do 2 quick strums on C. And then you're just going to put down a second finger here for C major 7. And then you go back to the C, like this. So in terms of the fret down here, 3, 3, 2, 3, okay? 3, 3, 2, 3, okay? And then when we go up to the next bit, you've got to bar the 4th fret, little finger on 7. Now look at this finger here. It's almost dying to come down, isn't it, on that 5th fret, which is exactly what we do next. Okay, and if you put that together slowly, it'll sound like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what you want to do, again, this takes a lot of practice, but start slow. And then a little bit faster. And then at tempo. Okay. Now this is one of those ones where I can teach you how to do it in the lesson, but don't panic if you can't do it right now. I've played that through quite a few times, so it's relatively simple for me, but that's only because I've built up the muscle memory and I'm a step ahead because I knew it was coming, right? I've practiced it, but you guys haven't practiced it. It's new to you. So don't feel bad if you don't get it straight away. I wouldn't either if I just learnt it this minute, but you can try putting it in if you like. If not, just hit that normal E7. So I've just played that chorus so you can hear it again both ways. So with a normal E7, sorry, da, 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 da. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Okay, and then with the movement, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Okay, so there we go. So have a little play around with that. So yeah, Tim says the higher E also sounds like the right note sitting on the A string. Yeah, exactly. It's bringing out the melody, isn't it? That da 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 da. Whereas if you do it with a standard E, the note that's highlighted is a B, so it doesn't quite work. So yeah, absolutely, that A string version's the way to go, or just simplify it to the other one, which is really nice. Okay, if you want to do this one doesn't officially have a solo in it, but if you wanted to have a go at soloing on this one, we've got the A minor pentatonic here. It's the relative minor to C major. And you can hit any of these notes and try a little solo. Remember that the brilliant thing about the A minor pentatonic, which is also the C major pentatonic, they're both the same thing, is that you've got your open A and all the dots on your A string. And you've also got the same thing on the E string, with one exception. We don't hit the 7th fret, we go up to 8th fret for a C note. But otherwise, you can hit all your dots. And you can also play around down here with off 2 on the C string, off 3, off 3 here. I haven't prepared a backing track this time today because in the official version there isn't a solo, but just so I can show you, just noodle away. Remember, you don't want to make it too busy because it's a ballad, so keep it nice and simple anyway. Just so you guys can have a little practice of that, I'll play a few chords from the song and you can have a little noodle and just have a quick practice in case you want to try putting a solo in anywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going because this will sound really nice here. I'll do a little chorus so you can try that. Okay, so should we try putting that all together? Remember, simplified version is absolutely fine as well, not a problem at all. And let's sing through this. Maybe we'll do it a couple of times to finish off on. I think this would be a really nice one to repeat because it's such a beautiful song, isn't it? I think we could do with a bit of this as well, couldn't we, nowadays, with the way the world is. So it's amazing that something that was written so long ago is still so kind of relevant today. I always say, because it sounds better than what the actual one was, this was my first ever record because when John Lennon passed away, I think it was 1981. I was a very, very small child, and Mum bought the album for me in honour of John Lennon. So that was officially my first record, but seeing as I was like 2 years old, I don't think it counts. My real first record, if anyone wants to laugh, was it was Kylie Minogue's first album on neon pink cassette. So there we go. I've been honest and shared that with you. Okay. Brilliant. Oh, well done, Anthony, soloing away to his heart's content. Oh, that reminds me, we've got a couple of questions from Anthony for after this as well. So, and a lot of you might be interested in them. So stick around at the end, and if you've got any other questions, let me know as well. Oh, it's 1980. Oh, 1 year out, as they say on Popmaster. Oh, never mind. I was close, wasn't I? Okay. Then I would have been 1. Okay. Here we go then. So let's go from the top. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people done, everyone. Let's do that one more time. And then I'll stop and we'll see if there's any questions at all. Let me know how you got on with that. If you've got any burning questions that you've had over the last week or so that you'd like help with, or any comments, ping them through now if you're not playing along, and I'll address them at the end. There's always a bit of a delay in them coming through, and we'll look at Anthony's couple of questions as well. So one more time from the top, just so we can give it our best go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. 2, 3, 4. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Yeah, lovely stuff. Yeah, great song, isn't it? Noel Gallagher took that piano part, if you're interested, at the start of Imagine, and those were the chords that he used for Don't Look Back in Anger, interestingly. So again, music kind of breathing new life into new music, which is really, really interesting. And John is saying the Fancy Pants version will need some more practice. That's cool. Yikes. You'll notice that I didn't do it all the way through as well, Indrani, so I chickened out. So don't worry about it. It's all good. Anthony says his first album was Sparks Kimono in My House. Kimono in My House, sorry, from a record shop in Cornwall. That is pretty cool. That's a proper good record, though, that is. No wonder you like Sparks so much then, Anthony. Yeah, love it. Can't quite seem to get the chorus timing right. Let me go over that again for a sec for you in a second, Karen, so you can see. Oh, no worries, Elizabeth. Isn't it a great song? Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? Yeah, I'm hoping if we've got time, I can do that each week now, and see if we can do a couple of play through of each one, because it's nice, isn't it, to all kind of practice together and work on it together. So yeah, brilliant. Yeah, absolutely, Leslie. I was thinking that as we're playing it. Just a beautiful song, but lyrics are really, really wonderful too, aren't they? So yeah, brilliant, fantastic. Brilliant, brilliant. Wayne says, nice that you can play along and no one can hear his mistakes. Oh, and Leslie says, you wouldn't remember my first recorded, a 45 RPM disc, Soldier Boy. Wow, nice, nice. Oh dear. Yeah, I wasn't around for that one. I wasn't around for that one. So my kids can't believe I was born in the 1970s. So, oh my goodness. Mad, isn't it? Okay. So, oh yeah, we had a couple of questions from Anthony just before. Let me just because Karen asked, and I'll really like to help people if I can. The timing on that chorus bit, let me come in on close. If you do it, best thing is to do it really slowly at first. So 2 beats of C, 1 of C major 7, and 1 of C. Yep, that's your first bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when we go up to this bit, it's 2 beats on each. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Okay. Okay, like that. It takes, as I say, lot practice, but give it some practice, and you'll get there for sure. Pam's first album was After the Gold Rush. That is another cool album. Oh man, you're putting my Kylie to shame. I love it. Susan says, just like starting over would make a great lesson. Yeah, that's a great song, Susan. Fantastic. I love lesson ideas. So yeah, that's a good one. It's got a nice groove to it, hasn't it? That one for Lennon, which is really, really cool. Karen remembers Leslie's first record. Fantastic. Okay, so we had a couple of questions that Anthony sent in. I presume you meant them for this, Anthony, and not just by email, but either's fine. So I hope you don't mind me sharing them with the group. I think I put them in my notes. So Anthony was asking a bit about metronomes and kind of practicing and doing his pentatonic scales. So if I read out his question, at what stage does a pentatonic scale become a natural free-flowing solo? Aiming for accuracy with finger placement, I'm currently on 80 BPM, beats per minute, and only increase the beats when I'm fairly certain I can play a scale from memory. I also attempt to play the scale legato. That's where you play without kind of staccato, making them smooth. When the scale leaving my fingers in place on the strings when the scale position can accommodate my pinky finger. Does this technique improve fluidity? In essence, is there a natural free-flowing solo, both a case of technique or just feeling the music and playing along? So this is really, really kind of interesting. It's trying to think of the best way to answer this, Anthony. So when you think about soloing, remember that those scales, they're just one part of what makes up music. So if you think of what makes a good solo, you've got rhythm, groove, attack, tone, timbre, timing, all of these things, they all add up to a good solo, and the notes you play are only one tiny part of it. So I wouldn't worry about practicing those scales at a particular kind of BPM or anything like that. The reason being is what you'll do is a bit like you hint at in the second part of your question, Anthony. You can kind of become a little bit mechanical. So I could play that really fast, that kind of. That's the F major pentatonic. And that is useful for being able to go up and down scales quickly. But the best thing really is to think about adding kind of that rhythm and groove into your solo. So it's not just about your notes. So let's just do one, for example, that we can all do. That F major pentatonic I just did is the 5th fret to the 7th fret of the C string. If you've still got ukes, guys, grab them along. And then 5 to 8 and 5 to 8. Okay. Now what I would do is I would put on a backing track. I'll see if I can find one in a sec. And then just practice a couple of notes from that scale rather than the whole scale, and build it together with that, adding a little bit of a groove to it. I'm just going to see if I can put on a backing track. It won't sound great because obviously it's just through my phone, but let me just put in F major backing track. This is just a random F major backing track on YouTube. It sounds like this. So what I would do, rather than playing that scale up and down, just pick a couple of notes from the scale. So I'm going to say play the 5th fret of the A string and the 8th fret, and just get a bit of a groove going. When you're comfortable with that, try 5 and 8 on the E string. And then you can involve the notes on the C string. And you see that the best thing to do really is to kind of get into that rhythm and groove, think about what you're playing and really, really enjoy it. Don't sweat about, you want to learn your scales, but don't worry about the timing of them. Just kind of learn your scales, but when you practice, choose a couple of notes first, then add to it, and then add to it. And then if you get really comfortable with the scale, then you can find other places to play it on the fretboard. But what I'm getting at is, avoid doing this over and over, because you'll get fed up, and we don't want to get fed up with you playing. We want to enjoy it and having fun. Soloing with scales is kind of like one of the best things to do in life, because it's so much fun, basically, just playing through these scales and adding extra notes and getting into that rhythm and groove. You want to make it a really nice process. Yeah, you could get fancy pants with slides, absolutely. I often start my solo with a slide. So you know how the F major scale starts with these two notes, F and G. What I'll often do is slide into the G. So just think about your first note. I'll often use my 3rd finger like that. And you can bend as well, if you want to kind of sound bluesy, which is another nice thing to do. The second half of Anthony's question was just asking about a metronome and whether the metronome can help you as a player, whether it kind of forces you to be a bit mechanical. And I'm kind of a little bit I'm more on the side of not using metronomes than using metronomes, but this comes with a big caveat. It doesn't mean that you don't want to practice playing in time. It's just how you practice that. I've taught for like 20 odd years, probably a lot more than that now actually when I think about it. And some students work really well with metronomes, just practicing a phrase and then putting it a little bit faster each day. But the majority, it builds tension in their playing, it builds anxiety, and it makes their playing a little bit mechanical. So what I recommend for people is actually to either have someone clapping along with you, or even better still, just tapping your foot. Now this is where having a thick rug in this room doesn't work so well. In my old room I could tap and you'd hear it, but if you kind of tap along, trying to think if I can knock the wall. No, that's going to drive my daughter mad because her bedroom's there. Right, I'll tap along. Hopefully you can just about hear that. Now that's really powerful because I can practice playing in time. Could be with scales or chords. Don't know if you could just about hear that. But the brilliant thing is when you use your own metronome using a tapping foot, is you can kind of forgive yourself a little bit. If you're ever so slightly off, you can then just tap faster or slow with your foot and get into a groove. And I think that's a much more powerful thing than playing with a mechanical metronome. And a lot of the best music, you think of like jazz music. I was listening to a podcast called You'll Hear It, and they were talking about the Prestige albums that Miles Davis recorded with Prestige before he went on to Columbia label. And they're kind of well known for just being kind of rough and ready and recorded in 2 days, 4 albums recorded in 2 days. But I love the fact that the timing's not 100%, you know, like perfect. The tempo of songs go up and down, and makes it sound really organic and stuff. So yeah, long story short, I'm not a big fan of metronomes. Hope that helped, Anthony. Hope that helped. Yeah, exactly, Leslie. Yeah, and it's that anxiety thing, and I think if something brings anxiety, it's not good, is it? And we play our ukuleles, you know, we want to get better, we want to advance ourselves, but we're not playing in a concert orchestra. Just enjoy it and tap your foot. That's what I think, and that will lead you to be a better musician anyway, because that will help with your general timing, which is a good thing. So yeah, it seems everyone agrees as well. There we go. I had a question about the festival, I think, and it's absolutely fine to ask questions. Wayne saying he can't come to the Ukulele Frost, can't come to the festival, but he can make the retreat. So he has two festival tickets. Oh, thanks, Anthony. That's really kind of you to resell them that way. That's really good. Yeah, best thing to do, Anthony, if you just put them on my Facebook page for now, either my main Facebook page or the Learn Ukulele with Match Students community. Couldn't get my words up there, because I know there's quite a few of my lot coming over that haven't got tickets yet, so that would be the easiest way if that's okay. If not, just see me personally, Wayne, and I'll sort you out if not. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, absolutely, Susan. Yeah, I bought myself. Did anyone see that there was a Kickstarter thing a couple of years ago, with a watch that you could wear that would vibrate in time, and I thought it'd be a fantastic thing. I kind of put it on, and then I thought with my uke club it'll really help me to stay in time and get everyone to stay in time. But it was an absolute nightmare, because as soon as the group goes slightly out of time with a metronome, then like you're battling against it, because you're like trying to keep time with them, but then your metronome's gone out, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's like the most stressful thing ever. So that didn't last very long, that got chucked out. But I helped the Kickstarter, so there we go. It helped them develop their product, which was good. But yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Love it. Thanks, Anthony. Went home on cloud 9. I love that. You're welcome anytime you're down here, mate. So come and have a jam. Absolutely. It's going to be fantastic this summer, because loads of us will be getting together, and it's going to be really special, which I'll I'll be looking forward to. Leslie said she bought one of those wrist metronomes too and has been trying to resell it ever since. I think mine ended up in my electronics drawer, which is just like where my electronics go to die when I can't think what to do with them. I always think, oh, I'll sell that at some point, and I never do. So, yeah. Oh, it's not just me. It's a few of them. Oh, gosh. Oh, well, never mind. Never mind. At least we tried. That's the main thing. Okay, so I'm going to head off in just a minute, guys. If you have got any last minute questions, ping them through. If you have any questions over the week and you'd like me to address them in the next Kanikapila, it's a really nice thing to do, because hopefully, like tonight, you've learned something from Anthony's questions. Just ping them through to the email on the sheets, and I'll do my best to accommodate as many of them as I can. If you're at a loose end at the end of May, come to Spain, come to Spain, come to Spain. You'll love it. I'm rereading Laura Lee's autobiography, where he talks about basically just walking away from Stroud, which was where he lived in the Cotswolds, and getting on a boat, and then he walks the entirety of Spain, which is really, really interesting. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Anthony. Yeah, my wife, Sharon's got a Kindle and she uses it every day. But again, I bought one of those and I never use it. But I like a real book. I'm a book sniffer. I love the smell of fresh ink when a new book comes. So yeah, I like I like the real thing, and I like records as well. I mean, look at that sleeve. You can't beat it, right? It's an MP3 on a phone isn't the same for sure. Brilliant. All right then, guys. Get those fancy pants on, Laura. Absolutely. Thanks, Susan. I'll put an announcement on Facebook when the book's ready. It should literally be in the next couple of weeks. So I'll put up an announcement there so you can hear all about it and grab your copy. So I've got a couple of prototypes coming this week. So as long as they don't look hideous and it all works, I'll send them on. I know what you mean, Janie. I drive Sharon mad because we go on holiday, like when I did the Caribbean thing, and I'll end up with like five chunky paperbacks, and it's not the best way of optimizing your suitcase, that's for sure. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Well, take care. Yukon, happy Yukon. Oh, one last thing, if anyone's still here. Next weekend is a May Day bank holiday in the UK, so I'm going to have a bit of family time next weekend. My cousin's getting married in the Forest of Dean, so I'm going to spend a bit of time with them, and I'm going to have a bit of family time. So I won't be here next Monday, but I will be back the Monday after that. So I think our next one is 11th of May, guys, 11th of May. I've already worked out the sheets. We're going to look at Olivia Rodrigo's new single, which is ace. Even if you're not into modern pop music, check it out. It's really good, Drop Dead. And then we're also going to do an old song by The Cure as well, Just Like Heaven, which is really glorious. Hi, Diana. So take care, everyone. And I'll see you hopefully on Wednesday. Come and join me on Wednesday. If not, the week after that. Take care, folks. Cheers.